straight to Parliament right now, and the minority in Parliament is addressing the press on the development in the judiciary specific to the suspension of the Chief Justice. And Judith Brown is my colleague sitting through the press conference right now. Judith, what's happening where you are?
Right, and so Alfred, they're already done with the conference today. They were represented by the second deputy chief whip, being Ahmed Jerry Shaib, and basically this presser was on the suspension of the Chief Justice Gertrude Isaba Tokonu, and they are basically calling for her reinstatement. They say that the President, John Dramani Mahama, by suspending the Chief Justice, is one attacking her. He is trying to pack the court with what they claim are NDC sympathetic justices or judges. And so they are calling for an immediate reinstatement as Chief Justice. They say that the petitions based on which the President effected that suspension are basically frivolous, and so they do not see any reason to which the Chief Justice should have been suspended. And so this is basically what they're calling for. They're asking that she is reinstated with immediate effect, Alfred.
I see. And we do know that the minority, and in fact, they had earlier indicated that they had information about some of the petition, the details of the petition against the Chief Justice. Did they reference specifically why they continuously refer to the petitions as frivolous?
Exactly. And so they did not. We asked actually that question, but they did not give a direct answer to it. They just said that they cannot speak on the contents of the petition, but they see all of these petitions as frivolous, and there are no reason for which she should be suspended. They also made the point about the cases that are already in court. We know that Vincent Assefa, who is also a member of Parliament, has brought a case in court calling for an injunction on that suspension that has been made for the Chief Justice. Well, they are saying that the President should have taken into consideration these, the court issues, the issues that are in court currently, and he shouldn't have suspended the CJ while there are pending cases in court, and that is basically not right. They don't see it as constitutional. He cannot go ahead of the courts and make a suspension while there are cases pending on that same issue. So that was one of the issues they also raised at that press conference there, Alfred.
So let's hear Ahmed Shaib, who is the Wejagbawe constituency member of Parliament and second deputy minority whip, addressing the press minutes ago.
Personality of the process. We're asking that the integrity and independence of Ghana's judiciary are not and cannot, is non-negotiable. Please allow the independence of the judiciary to foster. Let us stop attacking the judiciary. We stand ready to defend our democracy, and we are going to do that against all forms of executive overreach, and we will vigorously oppose any and all attempts to turn our courts into political tools. Enough is enough. Leave the judiciary alone. Leave Chief Justice Isaba Tokonu Saki alone. I mean, when you even see the kind of petitions that have been filed, you want to ask, are we serious? Are we really serious as a nation? Very flimsy, frivolous petitions. And yet, President Mahama finds it appropriate to remove the Chief Justice. And yet, there are pending matters before the same Supreme Court. President Mahama still finds it to set aside from Jubilee House the actions that are before the court to still remove the Chief Justice.
Oh, that's Jerry Ameshabo. So did they give an indication, Judith, what their next step will be? Because as we do know, the President, acting on the advice of the Council of State, has suspended the Chief Justice, and then also the 5-member committee set up, which would have that ultimate mandate of interrogating the issues against her and also giving her a hearing. Did they give any indication of what the next step will be?
Well, they have not yet given that indication. We're hoping to see really what they would say probably much later, if they're going to call the press once again and tell us really what they intend to do. But for now, it seems that we're waiting to really see what they intend to do if the president does not heed to their call. They've only called for him to reverse that suspension, reinstate the Chief Justice. But as to what they intend to do next, we are yet to find out from them as a party and the minority caucus.
I do appreciate your time on this. Thank you so much. Judith Brown is our parliamentary affairs correspondent, sitting through the minority press conference, which ended not too long ago, continuously referencing the details of the petitions against the Chief Justice that they have seen. They continue describing them as frivolous and feeble, essentially. But we here also do not have the benefit of, as it were, getting that official communication from the presidency specific to the details of the petitions against it. What has been making the rounds is what a number of persons have been commenting on. But Jerry Ahmed Shaibu, together with John Daaman, who is a Swami member of parliament, have all described what they have seen as frivolous.
Turn our courts into political tools. Enough is enough. Leave the judiciary alone. Leave Chief Justice Esaba Tokonu Saki alone. I mean, when you even see the kind of petitions that have been filed, you want to ask, are we serious? Are we really serious as a nation? Very flimsy, frivolous petitions. And yet, President Mahama finds it appropriate to remove the Chief Justice. And yet, there are pending matters before the same Supreme Court. President Mahama still finds it to set aside from Jubilee House the actions that are before the court.
So that's Jerry Ahmed talking about this petition in the words of the minority, describing them as feeble and frivolous. But question is, as Eduji Maklo, who is a private legal practitioner, acting CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, also is asking how the minority got the details of the said petitions against the Chief Justice, because by law, it is not supposed to be made public.
Of the petition. And the Chief Justice wrote the request. The President, in honoring the request, sealed the petition before giving it to her. Who informed the minority of the details? If Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, in communication with the minority, because at this point, the petition is between the President and the Chief Justice. And in fact, for the President to guide the integrity of the process, he marked the petition. I've heard one other journalist on Metro refer to what they claim to be the content of the petition. Who leaked to them?
That is if it the details.
No, but this one he phrases that we are told.
Yes. Who told?
I listened to him carefully.
No, I just played that.
Who told him these contents? But you see, how come that John Daaman, his own colleague, Afenyo Markin, Frank Anodompre, brought a petition for the removal of Loretta Lamptey. President Mahama didn't say it was an MPP MP against my appointee. He received the petition, actioned it, he found merit, and dismissed his own appointee. How come that today, Anodompre and his minority do not have confidence that President Mahama would do same thing he did to Loretta, affording her the opportunity to defend herself? Where is the fear? Where is the panic? You see, the stand of the minority relative to this broader national issue actually betrays a certain thing. It is extremely revealing. What is it? In all these constitutional arrangements, there's only one person under Article 146 to perform that role of receiving a petition. It is not Professor Ranford Jampo. It is not my learned friend here or this big man, not even me, only president. The president. Who is the president of Ghana? Possibly the petitioner should have addressed it to the MPP minority
before
and given it to Afenyo Markin so that Afenyo Markin can consult the Council of State in this process. Malene Senior, you were called to the bar before me, and I've always been inspired by your legal work. What exactly is the complaint against John Mahama? My senior John Daku, what exactly is the complaint against President Mahama? Now, when you assume the position of now deciding that a petition is frivolous, are you not usurping the powers of President Mahama and the Council of State? Lawyer Daku, it is rather your conduct that is unconstitutional.
As Godwin Ejudi Tamaklo, he is acting CEO of the National Petroleum Authority, also a private legal practitioner there. Now, the Ghana National Association